Hi, welcome. My name is Eberhard Schempf. I'm the head of Creative Industry Styria here in Graz, Austria. It's the network of design and creativity. It's a great pleasure to welcome you to this book presentation today, Designing Sustainable Cities. Here's the book. It's published by Birkhäuser and edited by Sigrid Bürstmeier and Karl Stocker. The book contains 7 projects, examples from 5 cities of design out of the network of the UNESCO Creative Cities, from the cities of Detroit, Graz, Istanbul, Mexico City, and Puebla. Now I hand over to Sigrid Bürstmeier and Karl Stocker for the presentation of the content of the book. Enjoy.
Thank you, Eberhard. My name is Karl Stocker. I'm the head of the Institute of Design and Communication. And my companion is...
I'm Sigrid Bürstmeier. And I'm working at the FIU Neum, University of Applied Sciences in Graz. And I'm educated as a product manager and exhibition designer, as well as sustainable designer. And I'm a design activist from the heart.
So this lady is a designer. I'm a poor historian, but you know, history rules, and history connected with design, it's very powerful. Is Peter Marold here? David Marold, sorry. We can see him because he's from the publisher, and we wanted him to say some words about the book.
David Marold. No, maybe he's joining us later and we are going to start.
Yes. Okay, so what did we do with this book? Let's go on with both of us, because as you can see, we are quite different. One is a woman, me is a man. She's younger, I'm the older guy. One comes from design. I come from social topics. So why to work together and what to do? What do we have in common? And I think what we have in common is that we both believe that design is something which can improve the life of many people. Design should be improving environments. Design should save the world, maybe. Working on a better future. This is what we actually want to do. For many years, we shifted at the University of Applied Science in our institute from a, I would say, more technique-orientated design study program to design. And in the last, I think, 10 years, we really think that design is really connected with social topics. And that was the reason why we published a book 3 years ago about socio-design. It was also published in Birkhäuser. It was an anthology about social topics in the design community. And then I met Sigrid because she comes from product design and sustainability. And then we said, okay, it would be nice to be connected and to put the social issues together with the sustainability topics. And that was the reason why we said, okay, let's do an anthology. This was the first reason. The second was that we came to Istanbul for a really big event. And we met designers from Istanbul, and 3 of them who are now with us. We invited them, and because we saw in Istanbul is a lot of going on about these topics, we invited 3 of them to be part of a book. And with the UNESCO City of Design Istanbul, we found something like, they pushed us, they said, let's do it, we publish this, and that was the story. But unfortunately, the company of design UNESCO team, they had to move, and now the book is done by us. But it's okay, because with the network, I think it will come to the public. So we are really happy that we finished it, and we found also authors from Puebla, from Mexico City, from Detroit, and of course from Graz. Yeah, and yeah, we are happy now to have the book here and to present it today. Yeah, actually, we are in a world of transition at the moment. We are really in a period of change. And of course, in our post-industrial consumer societies, materialism is still popular. But of course, we find a lot of indications that there's a shift in the values among certain segments of the population. If we speak with our students, and I think maybe in general the young people are aware of the negative impacts of our current economic model and are discussing new approaches to the world. They are critical of the inequality which exists between the first, the second, and the third world. And they demand action against the increasing destruction of our environment. And they really get involved with social initiatives as well as working to improve the world in the local areas. So let's go on with the young people.
So what designer can do? Nowadays, the profession designer means a lot more than it meant 30, 20, or even 10 years ago, and includes a wide range of approaches, accesses, and definitions. While designers used to simply create products or carry out graphic tasks, they have now become design strategists who are able to find creative solutions to the most diverse societal and ecological problems, thanks to their different skills and interdisciplinary approaches. So what we are saying is, a designer has to be a researcher. In order to be a good designer, you have to do research. Research is the foundation of excellent design work. Second, a designer has to be a team player. Designers have to work in interdisciplinary teams. They need to be able to integrate people with different competences and approaches to the world. A designer also has to be a storyteller. The expert knowledge has to be filtered and reduced to narratable stories. Furthermore, a designer has to be a visual communicator. The task now is to bring the story, to transform these stories using a strong visual impact and approach. A designer also has to be a social designer. It is clear that design should take human needs into consideration and use design as a tool in order to improve lives of everyone. A designer has to be a sustainable designer. So in addition, a designer also has to focus on eco-design and sustainable design. Thinking on the lack of resources, the waste problems, for example, we have. So we have to work in a circular design. And last point, designer has to be a design activist, which means we need a transformation of our values. The economic model itself is being called into questions. We need a change in society, in mind and in action.
So, what about the future and what about education? We really think that designers should have a big responsibility. So when we start in the first semester, the first lecture, I always do together with Sigrid. And I tell the young guys, if you don't want to study only for getting rich, go away. Yeah, this is not your job. Yeah, yeah. What you should do is to change the life of people in a better way. This is your job. If you don't want to do this, leave the institute. Go away. Yeah, it's important to be responsible with this environment. And it's really important, yeah, that, you know, in a world where we are really threatened with climate change, with resources, with a shortage of resources, with a global migration, you have only two possibilities. Harald Welzer mentioned some year ago that there are just two possibilities. How to do with the system. The first is by disaster, and the second is by design. The former means waiting until everything collapses and then trying to build something new from the ruins. It's one possibility. We prefer by design because this implies the preemptive transformation of the existing into something new through planned and targeted design actions. So we really believe in the power of design and creativity to transform society. And we are convinced that money, government, or science, no, they can't solve these complex global issues on their own. However, we don't know whether the fresh ideas, alternative strategies, and provocative thoughts of a critically designed community will be enough to change the planet. This will hardly be possible without substantial measures. With the 17 Sustainable Development Goals, the UN had taken a clear position on what needs to happen worldwide and how the world should be transformed till 2030. But nevertheless, we know that there are strong economic and political interests which are currently blocking the substantial reforms that are necessary. This is why it all depends on collaboration between politics, science, economy, designers, activists, and people in order to find solutions and achieve and implement these goals in the near future. This is what designers have to do.
So we wrote this first article, a kind of introduction and summary of the current design situation. Furthermore, we have 7 contributions from 5 cities of design, which describes social design and urban planning projects that are recommended for inspiration and for imitation. Let me introduce you the authors and their articles in the book. The first contribution is from Paul Draus from Detroit. He is a sociologist and researcher at the University of Michigan, Dearborn. His article, Inclusive Design in Contemporary Detroit, focuses on the urban issues of poverty, race, inequality, drug abuse, and crime in Detroit. The second article, Urban Oases, Can Cities of the Future Function Like Forests, is written by the Austrian Breathe Earth Collective. And we have one of the authors, Karl-Heinz Beuger, here with us today. And he will give you a short summary of the article.
Hello, thank you very much. My name is Karl-Heinz Beuger. I'm part of the Breathe Earth Collective. We are a collective formed in 2015 out of architects, designers, landscape architects, artists. So we are an interdisciplinary working collective, and we really try to work and to research as designers to generate solutions how to unite the built environment with the concept of nature. So to bring nature and technology together. And for this book project, we were asked by Karl Stocker and Sigrid Birstmeier 1 year ago. I think it was in Montreal. We met, fortunately, at a conference about this topic. We met and we were invited to make a text for this book project, and we are very honored to take part in this great international project. and also to give some ideas in this text what we're working on. So because as collective, as interdisciplinary collective, we exactly work on this field. We felt very honored about this opportunity to take part. And with this article, Urban Oases, can cities in future function like a forest? We want to focus the discussion of design on urban areas and cities, on the future. How can our future cities look like? How could they perform, and how maybe they can perform like a forest somehow for our climate. Maybe they can perform positive for the climate, not only negative. And yes, for sure, cities of the future will continue to grow. So the urbanization, the climate change, for sure we have now a corona crisis, but the urbanization and the climate crisis will still challenge us in future, especially as designers. And these phenomena will force city planners, decision makers, politics to think and to deal with these problems and to find solutions how we can make our urban areas climate positive in the future. So, for example, we think in our text about how to deal with urban heat islands effect, how maybe we can transform our already existing cities into climate positive oases by transforming free urban spaces with productive greens to productive areas that producing and performing for the climate and in the inner circle, for producing oxygen, cooling down the surroundings, and so on. So we will give you in our text a little view what we're thinking about and how we want to design and take part in design for the future. Thank you that we can take part of it.
Yeah. Thanks a lot, Karl-Heinz, for coming in real to us. So the next article, the third contribution, Interior Architecture in Sustainable Cities, written from the Istanbul architect and professor at the Myanmar Sinan Fine Arts University in Istanbul, Burçin Cem Arabakioglu, quotes that the constructions and interior design sectors has a significant share of the used resources. The next article, The Potential of Alternative Architecture, written by Ayşen Sirafoglu, professor at the Yildiz Technical University in Istanbul, demonstrates the potentials and the problems of ecological and social sustainability within the 16 million city of Istanbul. Another article is from Çiğdem Polatoglu, also a professor at the Yildiz Technical University in Istanbul. Sustainable Istanbul, Studies for this Urban Design Guide, Participation, Policy, Scope. Describes the ideas and the desired impacts of the Istanbul Urban Design Guide. The sixth article is written by Paulina Cornejo Moreno Valle with the title Mexico City, New Collective Approaches to Fix a Broken City. She is the coordinator of the Social Design Study Program at the University Centro de Diseño, Cine y Televisión in Mexico City. And the last contribution in our book is from Silvia Ulicka, an international design researcher from the City of Design, Puebla. She wrote about the sustainability in design by questioning our material culture. So this was a short introduction of the 7 manageable approaches to make urban spaces better.
So to end up with our presentation, we have to thank some people. We thank all of the authors to be with us. We say thank you very much to our fantastic translators from, they live in Italy, in Pisa. Giulia Messeri and Tristan Jeffrey, yeah, in Prato. I work many years with them and they are fantastic. Very thank you much to Verena Michelic. Is an Austrian designer, studied in our institute, now working in New York City, and she made the cover and graphic design in a fantastic way together with Wen Wang, her companion who works in her company. And of course, we have to thank our publisher, David Marold from Birkhäuser and Angelika Gahl.
Is Mr. Marold here now? Maybe he wants to say something. Okay.
We can't see him. Okay. And of course, for the printing, we choose the Google GmbH for Melk, which works totally sustainable. It was a tip from Sigrid because she knows the company. It's, I think, the only one company in Austria who works with colors and everything, which is really fantastic. Okay, at least I have to say thanks to the network. There's one guy, we have to mention him. It's Muhammad Attila Sevim from Istanbul, because this guy, he said, okay, let's do the project. Yeah, let's do a design strategy for Istanbul, and this was something really important in our beginning. Thank you, Attila. Then, of course, our friend in Puebla, Luis Gonzalez. Yeah, Luis Gonzalez, I hope you work on the translation in the Spanish language. Yeah, Luis, please do it. We would have liked to present the book in Puebla at the Design Puebla, but it didn't work. And of course, the guys from Detroit, Olga Stelly and Eli Schneider, because they will do a presentation in Detroit in September at the Design Month in Detroit. So thank you very much and have a good time. If there are any questions, please put it in the chat, and
or
we can
ask them now. Switch on your camera and your microphone, and feel free to ask. I think we got the first question from Eberhard Schrempf about the costs of the book and where you can buy it.
Yeah, you can buy the book in at Birkhäuser with, I think, 39.95 euros. And if you want to support Amazon, which I wouldn't like so much, you can get it cheaper, which is a pity. Yeah, it's 36 euros with Amazon, but Amazon kills us. You know, they kill all the cities. So please don't buy with Amazon. Yeah,
so just
buy at Birkhäuser directly. Yeah,
or just go into your local bookstore and order it there.
Sorry, I got emotional.
So are there any other questions, or are there any authors of our great book who want to say hello to the audience? Or actually our plan is to make other online presentations in each of the cities and with the network of each of the authors. So yeah, we will have to talk to you again.
I just see that Luis Gonzalez from Puebla wrote, we will do the translation, super fantastico. Yeah. And I also see Nana Yashvili from Tiflis. Maybe we should do a book about Tiflis, huh, Nana? And Giulia, thank you very much. And Sylvia, yeah, check them. Okay, thank you that you're all with us, and enjoy.
Yep, thank you for joining the book presentation.
And we close.